All right, let's jump right into it. We're talking about one of the most buzzed about strategies for homeowners in Japan, the garage house tax saving idea. We're going to break down what's real, what's not, and where the hidden dangers are.
So here's the big question, right? Can you actually save money on your taxes with a home garage? It sounds incredible, especially if you're running your own business. But is it really as good as it sounds? Let's dig in and separate the facts from the fiction.
Okay, first things first. How does this whole thing even work? I mean, how does a garage, a place where you park your car, suddenly become this powerful tool for saving on taxes? Let's look at the mechanics.
You know, the entire trick here is that you can legally draw a line in the sand. You can separate the part of your home that's for business, in this case the garage, from the part you just live in. And once you do that, a whole bunch of costs related to that garage can potentially become business expenses.
So who's the ideal person for this? Well, if you're self-employed and your car is basically your office on wheels, you're the prime candidate. Think delivery drivers, real estate agents, anyone whose job depends on their vehicle. For them, a garage isn't just a garage. It's a core part of their business operations.
And check this out. It's not just about the cost of building the thing. We're talking about all sorts of expenses. The electricity for the lights, fixing the garage door, even the tool shelves you install or a security system. All these little things can be partially claimed, and they can really start to add up.
Okay, so that's the theory. It sounds pretty good on paper, but what does this look like in the real world? Let's talk actual numbers. What kind of savings are we really looking at here?
So we can all be on the same page. Let's just imagine a pretty typical scenario. We've got a self-employed person making about 8 million yen a year. They spend 5 million yen to build a nice garage, and they figure out that about 40% of the time, that garage is being used for their business.
First up, we've got depreciation. Basically, you get to write off a small piece of that big construction cost every year. For our example person, that works out to be about 27,000 yen a year, back in their pocket from taxes.
Then you've got all the gear. You know, the new tool shelves, maybe some fancy lighting, a good security camera. All that stuff is an expense too. That could save you another 36,000 yen a year.
And you can't forget the power bill. The electricity for the lights, maybe for charging an EV or running tools, that little bit adds up. We're talking about another 21,000 yen in annual savings right there. So you add all that up, and what do you get? Well, you're realistically looking at saving somewhere between 100,000 and 150,000 yen a year. Now look, that's not nothing, but let's be honest, it's probably not the life-changing jackpot you might have been hoping for.
And this is where things get really important. Because while those savings are nice, they come with some serious strings attached. We're about to walk through a minefield of hidden costs and traps that are incredibly easy to stumble into.
So is it as simple as just building a garage and watching the money roll in? I wish I could say yes, but the answer is a hard no. Before you even think about calling a contractor, you absolutely have to understand the downsides, because they can end up costing you way more than you'd ever save.
And these traps are no joke. For starters, the return on your investment is tiny. It could take you over 2 decades just to break even on the construction cost. Then there's the fact you need more land, maintenance on things like electric shutters is super expensive, and yeah, you might tick off your neighbors with all the noise. But honestly, the real killers are the last two. They are the financial traps that can absolutely wreck this whole plan.
Okay, listen up, because this is the single most overlooked disadvantage, your housing loan tax deduction. For most homeowners, this is a massive tax break that saves them a ton of money for years. But if you get greedy and claim too high of a business use percentage for your house, you risk reducing or completely losing that deduction. Suddenly, any savings from the garage are gone, and you could actually end up paying more in taxes.
So where does that leave us? On one hand, you have some modest but real tax savings. On the other, you have some very serious, potentially catastrophic risks. What's the final verdict here? Is this whole garage house thing actually a good idea?
And here's the bottom line. It all comes down to why you're doing it. If your one and only goal is to save on taxes, then just don't do it. It's a bad deal. The cost performance is terrible. But if you see the garage as an investment in your lifestyle and your business, a place to protect your valuable car, a dedicated workspace, convenient storage, well, then the conversation completely changes.
So if those lifestyle and business benefits are what you're really after, then yes, this can be an incredibly smart move. The key is to do it right. You have to be meticulous about that business use ratio to protect your mortgage deduction. You need to be aware of your land's classification. It's all about finding that perfect, delicate balance between your life and your work.
At the end of the day, it forces you to ask a really fundamental question about what you're building. Are you just chasing a small tax break, or are you trying to build real tangible value into your home, your business, and your life? Your answer to that question will tell you everything you need to know.